Most of chainsaws come in orange, but what if they didn't? What if they look like this? So today I'm dyeing my two saws. So I'm dyeing the T540, the Husky, and I'm dyeing the MS200. So I've already kind of disassembled and cleaned down, just got any oil, and on the 200 it was in fairly bad nick, so I sanded it down just to kind of prepare it to take the black. So I'm using Rit dye to dye the plastics. I could spray paint them, but if I spray painted them, you know, they'd chip and they'd scratch and stuff, so dye is a better alternative. So I'm using, there's John's Custom Saws, he's an American YouTube channel, and I'm using his recipe. So we're using Rit dye. It's for every 10 litres is one thing of Rit dye black and synthetic, 1 cup of acetone, we have some fairy liquid, and we have vinegar. So I use for the recipe, it's 1 black and 1 synthetic black. So I'm also adding in, just kind of wing, what you think is about 1/4 cup of fairy liquid, and you're putting in, this is 99% acetone, so you want to wear a respirator or something, like putting in around a cup of this. Yeah, so it's probably best to do this outside just to avoid any kind of build up of gases and stuff in the house. Wouldn't be the best to breed this shit. So I'm going to preheat the plastics. So they're going to go from preheating in just hot water and fairy liquid. They go into the dye for about 15 minutes. From the dye bath, I put them in, I have a thing of cold water here. So it kind of shocks the plastic from hot to cold. I'll do this process about 3 times to absorb the, it'll give a better colour. Right, so this is kind of, should be heated up enough. So I'm going to add these plastics. Just keep track of what you put into the pot, because it's kind of black in the pot, you won't see. That's what the tongs are for. So I'll add in. You see. So that's everything out of the bottom of this. So I'll leave this in for about 15 minutes. I'll just set a timer on, and when I'm waiting for that, I'll just preheat these plastics. So I'm going to kind of rotate from one to the other. So the whole process should take about an hour. If you want the recipe, what you can do is put the recipe up in the description. Now this is from John's Custom Saws, so check out his YouTube. This is just me kind of replicating what he's already done. Everything was got in Ireland anyway. I didn't have to order anything. The only thing that I varied from the recipe was fairy liquid. So Americans use Dawn dish soap, so I use that instead of fairy liquid. So that's 15 minutes done on the first dip. So I see how the plastics. So you can see already they're black. So we'll do this about 3 times to kind of get that colour to really bed into the plastic. So straight into this, into the cold dip. So now we need we need a fish out. I think that's everything out. So we'll just let them cool in. So this is the battery for the Husky, but I'll try dye this black to kind of fit in with the black saw. So that should be everything now. We'll have a look just at our plastics now and see after one. We can see how much the black absorbed in. So you can see it absorbed pretty well into the plastics. But you can see, alright, the orange kind of starting to, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the orange starting to show through in places here. So what we'll do, just to make sure, we'll dye it another 2 times, just to make sure that the colour has gone the full way through. So you can see already it looks pretty well, like it's kind of, the black has gone the full way. And this, if you scratch this won't go orange. It's not like paint where you spray paint. So we just put it back into the hot. Again, let that preheat. See, a lot of these parts, these were all grey, so I just said to kind of dye them uniform. This was the cover off. You can see how textured, and you can see the kind of orange coming through on this here. This is the cover off the MS200, the air filter cover. So you can see where I sanded it, you can see that kind of textured is coming up. Preferably the best results are with new saws. So we wait another 15 minutes and kind of then that'll be the first dip for both saws, and we kind of repeat the process. See how the colour has went into the Husky or onto the MS200. It's pretty good. There's a lot of small parts left in this one. It'll be hard to get out. Right, I'm back from raiding the kitchen. See what I have. I don't know if I'll be able to get these out. There's one. I think we're going to have to abandon that piece. We'll try to get it out on the next one. This back in for its second dip. So you can see how the battery cover didn't really take on the black too well, kind of more of a purpley colour. I might preheat that and put that in with the same. Right, so this is after the second dip. We're gonna alarm for that. We'll just compare it to the plastics that we dipped once. So I don't know if you can see on the camera the kind of difference of the blacks. Like, as you can see, kind of orange starting to come through on that, like a tinge of orange, but on this it's kind of black. I'll still put it through probably one more coat. It needs one more coat, and you can actually see here where the glue for that badge was. If I scratch it, the orange coming through on there. So I'll dip them one more time. I'll just let that back into the cold dip. I don't think that battery cover is not going to dye too well. That's the second dip, yep. I got the piece I was trying to get all along, and I dropped it back in because I didn't think I got any piece. Like a game of cat and mouse in the bottom of this. Fine, Nelly. finally have it out. Right. So these are going in for their second dip. So this is the MS200 going back in for its second dip. Right, this is it after the third go on the dye. You can see the black kind of absorbed a good bit into it. So we're just going to cool these pieces off, and then we're going to leave them out to dry and put the saws back together. Yeah, so I'm happy enough with the results. It looks like it had absorbed well into it anyway. I think the Husky turned out, the plastics in the Husky, it absorbed the dye a lot better. Now I don't know if it was because it was a newer saw, so there's less wear on the saw, but it seemed to take in the black a lot better. The battery didn't dye well at all. That's everything dyed, so we're going to dry it and then we'll put the saws together. That's it. Yeah, right.